ask you, what documents do I need to bring to get my learner's permit or driver's license? Okay, so you need to bring proof of identity. Who are you? So this is a birth certificate. This is a passport. Um, Proof of residence. This could be a utility bill, a bank statement. You got to bring your social security card. If you don't have that, you're going to have to go to the county you were born in. Oh, sorry, my bad. I was muted. Sorry about that. So, number one, documents do I need to get my learner's permit? You need to bring your uh, birth certificate, your passport, those are legal documents, a utility bill, bank statement, and then your social security number. Also, you're going to need to complete and have some other necessary documents. Every DMV is a little bit different, but those are some of the basic things you need. Number two, what age requirements are for different types of licenses? Some of you thought I was trying to trick you. I'm not. Most states issue a learner's permit 15 or 16. Every state is different. With restrictions on driving alone or at night. A full unrestricted license is typically available by 18. It could be 17 and a half. It could be 17.1. It could be 16.9. It could be 16.8. It just depends on when your birthday falls and when you get your driving done and when you get segment 2 done. So everyone's a little bit different. Maybe your parents don't feel like taking Secretary of State. Maybe you've had crappy grades and they're like, you know what? We're going to wait a couple months. Mom, Dad, why are you waiting? See, you have an attitude. Or you've worked really hard in school. You have a 4.2. We're going to get it done early because you are a wonderful son and daughter. Thank you, Mom and Dad. Ding. So, assuming the driver has completed the required driving and a clean driving record, you could be 17.3 and then get a speeding ticket. Now that messes you up. Again, the requirements vary, so you got to check at your local Secretary of State. So if you don't read this, you won't know. Next, how can I schedule an appointment at Secretary of State? You can schedule that appointment through online. Look for make an appointment or visit Secretary of State option. Some Secretary of States may offer walk-ins, but scheduling an appointment usually means shorter wait times. So I did say that 3 times. So scheduling appointment usually means shorter wait times. You go in there, you check the time, 3 o'clock, you show up at 2:59, and you're good. Or you could gamble, I'm going to show up at 10, but there are 50 people ahead of you. I want to go home. You dragged me here. Yeah, we got to wait an hour and a half. What? So you really have to be considerate of your mom or dad. That's really the most important thing. Next, how do I study for the written test? Where can I find a study guide? Most Secretary of States offer a free downloadable manual, which contains all the information, all you need for the written test. Many states offer practice online tests to help you prepare. Some third-party apps may provide additional practice, but be cautious. They're not reliable. So in the UK, we're not in the UK. They have a very long, drawn-out test. A lot of people are putting fake tests online. You're paying someone to create a test for you, and you end up failing and crying. What fees are involved in getting your permit, license, or state ID? Fees vary. They can be dependent upon your age, the type of license. Generally, you pay a fee for the learner's permit and another fee when you get your full license. So you have to actually have money or debit or credit card. Some places only accept debit or credit. So if your mom or dad doesn't have a debit or credit card, then I guess you're going to have to make another appointment. So you really got to be aware. Some states have fees for vision tests too. It used to be free, so you got to check ahead. What should I do if I fail the written test or the driving test? If you fail the written or driving test, most states allow you to retake it. You may have to wait a certain number of days. Okay? Some states limit the number of attempts. You can make additionally and apply for fees. Review the study materials and again to assure you're fully prepared. but many of you are in a hurry. I turned 17. I want to drive to the prom, but you don't have enough hours, or you didn't study the test. You don't know how to parallel park. Sounds like you're probably going to fail. Then you won't get your license. So you really got to put in your preparation, right? How long is the wait time to retake or fail a test? Usually it varies. Sometimes it's 5 days, 7 days, 1 day. Some states require you to pay a retest fee. Check with your local office. Things aren't free. Okay, that test has to be created. In some locations, you actually go in and a tester comes out. If we go to a third-party tester, they have a schedule. You got to register online. They may have 25 people ahead of you. You got to find another tester in downtown, but you live out in the country. You live in the country, all the areas by you are full. You got to go downtown. You don't know the route. It's too many cars. So it's that preparation again, right? How do I register my vehicle and get a license plate? A lot of people will go to Secretary of State for that. So to register your vehicle, bring proof of the title. What's that? That proves that you own the car. My uncle just gave it to me. Well, if you don't have a title, you can't prove that you actually own the car. Can I text him? Bye. Next. You got to have proof of insurance. And you have to have a valid ID to the Secretary of State office. I need all that. You do need all those documents. Also, you have to pay a registration fee. You mean I got to pay money? Yeah. And in some cases, they say one-time title fee. And if you have a SRT Jeep, it's more than a Toyota Camry. If you have a beat-up 2010 S10 truck, that's cheaper than a 2024 Model X, which could be a Model Y. It could be more expensive. So the Secretary of State makes money based on the year, make, and model of the car that you have. What is the difference between a restricted and unrestricted license? A restricted license is often used for new or young drivers. You guys will have a restricted license. Sorry. You got a restricted license. You got to be in by 10. Bruh. Yeah, you got a restricted license. Like only driving during certain hours with supervised adult. Unrestricted license, you have no such restrictions. You can stay out all night if you want to. Different type of people come out at night. You'll find out. Number 12, what are the requirements for supervised driving practice? Every state differs. Some states require teens to complete a certain number of supervised hours with a licensed adult, often including night driving. These hours are typically logged and signed off by the parent or guardian. So let's pretend that Shaquavia, my student Shaquavia, her mom and dad didn't really drive her. We're just going to sign off, honey. Well, Shaquavia doesn't really have experience driving, and she's getting ready to drive down to the University of Texas because she got a basketball scholarship. She's always busy. She didn't really get her hours. Shaquavia is going to fall asleep at the wheel. Shaquavia is going to get a speeding ticket. Shaquavia is not going to be handling a highway drive very well. So your parents are really setting you up for failure. What are the specific rules for new drivers under a graduated license? GDLs includes stages like learner's permit, intermediate, and restricted license. Then you get a full license when you're about 17 or 18. Each state has specific rules, requirements, and limits the number of passengers. GDL laws are designed to gradually increase driving privileges. Can I just drive? No, bro, you can't just drive. What penalties exist for driving without insurance or registration? Driving without insurance or valid registration is illegal. You can get fines, you can get points on your license, or even get your license suspended. Have fun with that. Repeated offenders may lead to more severe penalties. They can take your vehicle. Man, my truck was in the high school parking lot, bro. They took it. Yeah, the state took it because you had unpaid parking tickets. Yeah. They show that on TikTok too. Someone towing your vehicle. Anyway, can I get my license if I'm not a U.S. citizen? What are the requirements? Non-U.S. residents may be eligible to get a driver's license if they can prove their identity and residency, such as a visa, a green card, other immigration documents. Every state is different. I'm different. I'm different. What do you do if you lose your license or permit? Report a lost or stolen permit to the Secretary of State. You know what they're going to do. They're going to charge you money. They always charge money. Most offices allow you to apply for a replacement online, but you need to bring identification. And you got to pay. It's not free, baby. Man, I hate them. You got to pay. You're growing up. What are the specific requirements for getting a motorcycle or commercial license? Yes, to obtain a motorcycle license requires separate knowledge test, possibly a skills test. They usually have it at community colleges. They have it in the summer. The state will have 20 or 30 motorcycles. You go around a cone course. You take a test. You got to be a certain age. A CDL requires additional training. You actually have to drive a commercial vehicle, written exam. You have to drive. You have a driving test with a specific type of vehicle you want to operate, such as a bus or a truck. What are the different types of endorsements? They allow you to operate specific types of vehicles: motorcycle, commercial, school bus. Each endorsement requires additional tests. Hazardous materials endorsement, a further background check, and more money. Yay. Hope you have a job. What types of driving restrictions might apply to first-time drivers? This is all of you. Restrictions on new drivers, curfew, limit the number of passengers, a ban on cell phone. These restrictions are aimed to reduce distractions and risky situations for inexperienced drivers. How can I change my address or personal information on my license? Update your address and details by visiting the Secretary of State website. You need to bring proof of your new address. And yes, they may charge you a fee. What are the fines and points for common driving violations? Fines and points vary from state to state. In Ohio, it's different than Texas. In Michigan, it's different than Wisconsin. In Michigan, it's different than Indiana. Every state is different. Some states make you pay on the spot. In Ohio, if you get a speeding ticket, you have to pay on the spot. If not, you go to jail. They take your car. Have fun. Oh, really? Yeah. Have fun with that, right? If you accumulate many points, your insurance rates will go up, and it'll even take your license. What happens if I get a ticket or violation with my learner's permit? Violations with a learner's permit may result in fines, points, restrictions, or on processing the next stage. Let's pretend all of you get a ticket on level 1. Well, instead of 3 months, they're going to make you wait 6 months. That's not fair. Let's pretend you get another ticket, and you're 17.5. Well, they're going to make you wait a year. That's not fair. Hey, you got tickets. Violations can delay your eligibility. What should I know about driving with an international license? An international license, an international driving permit, IDP. Usually it's a valid or temporary license. Let's pretend I'm from India. I want to drive in the United States. I could get an IDP. Let's pretend I'm from the United States. I want to drive in Australia. That's outside the country. I'm driving on the left. In America, we drive on the right. I could get an IDP. Let's pretend I want to drive in Bahrain or UAE. I could get an international driving permit. So, but after a certain period of time, most states will require foreign drivers to obtain a U.S. license. Type in what you learned, please. Type in what you learned. Type in 3 things you learned from what I went over. Show me you were paying attention. Guys, this is a wonderful review because we really touched on a lot of information about what are some of the standards in the United States. It varies from country to country, state to state, province to province. What they do in the UK, they might not do in the United States. What they do in the United States, they might not do in Australia. What they do in Australia, they might not do in the Middle East. So I need all of you to type in some things you learned. If I look happy, I am happy because all of you are learning. If this brought you value, give it a thumbs up. Watch all of my videos. Bye.